working on a film is like building a puzzle, and every piece is very, very important.
Oh, you know what she
Maybe
could
a
wear?
new t-shirt.
Maybe she could wear one of those little like rock royalty. Yeah.
The clothes can't wear the person, so to speak, but the person needs to look great in the clothes. And so to sort of marry that together is always, I think, one of a costume designer's greatest challenges, because it's not just about, oh, isn't my costume beautiful? Your costume makes utterly no sense if it doesn't seem to be a fabric of the character and of the film. And it, as much as I'm very happy for people to look at all the costumes, it needs to look effortless. The whole thing needs to look effortless.
It doesn't have to be that top. She's just saying that
She'd rather not wear.
yeah, and she'd have no problem just wearing a t-shirt. She said she actually likes this shirt.
I was going to say maybe we'll do that.
And what a costume designer does today with contemporary films is you still design the look, and that's done through many ways, through tear sheets and through illustrations and through literary references. And so you all have everyone has a visual plan, which you can literally show everyone. This is what the character of Katie shall look like, and there'll be magazine tear sheets, and then there'll be sketches, and there'll be fabric swatches and colors. It's more than clothes. Everything has a meaning, everything has a purpose, every color is there for a specific reason, and where you get all of those things and where you sort of come to it all comes from a variety of places.
Ma'am, do you have this in the next size up?
Sorry, we only carry sizes 1, 3, and 5. You could try Sears.
Even though it's a present-day teenage comedy, there's still a lot of research to be done. Where do these people live? And these were in a small town outside of Evanston, Illinois, so we get yearbooks from all of these small towns. And then it's a film, so you want to turn the volume up and gloss it up a bit. So then you start researching what a teenager in another, in Los Angeles or New York, or because it needs to be tangible for the mass market.
New meat coming through.
In this movie, it took place within a calendar year. And so for each of the characters, there were, for Katie, she had about 40 changes, and the other girls subsequently had at least 32 to 33. So it's a lot of balance, and you have to think of how they look together, and if Katie is in this, and Rachel is in this, and Gretchen is in this, and Karen is in this, how will this work for what their action is and for what you visually have to see?
Oh, you'll get socialized all right. A little slice like you.
What are you talking about?
You're a regulation hottie.
When we first meet Katie, she's just come back from Africa, where she lived with her parents, and she's just sort of plopped down into mainstream high school. And so, again, Lindsay is a beautiful, cute girl, so we weren't going to stick her in a potato sack in the beginning and suddenly have her transform. She was simply dressed in the beginning in, sort of simple jeans and t-shirts and a plaid shirt, but not a big old Paul Bunyan-y lumber. You would never want to lose the, sort of sparkle of who she is. And so from that, she does start to, when she becomes a part of the plastics, she does start to sort of catch on to what they do and how they do it and what it means to wear certain things and be certain things. So she sort of subtly starts from going from Gap jeans, she goes to a more stylish cut, and from her bigger t-shirt she gets to wear the more fitted. And then she suddenly she's in there, and she joins the club. And she puts her heels on, and she puts her skirt on, and her clothes sort of are, tailored and tightened up, and she's one of the shapely.
Hey guys.
You look awesome.
I know, right?
And that was a lot of fun to do, and it was a lot of fun to sort of push the envelope.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
The plastics sort of greatest point of reference for me was the 50s, and you also, when you think of plastic, you think of, I do anyway, Barbie dolls. So complete lack of reality to them, and they would agree that there was nothing realistic about, the way they dressed or the things that they do. It's just their vision of what they should be and who they should be.
How do I even begin to explain Regina George?
The character of Regina, she was sort of like the bride on the top of the cake. What we tried to do with her, we tried to combine soft elements with tougher elements. For instance, she might have on a soft cashmere top with a leather skirt, and then really high pointy shoes with a soft, sort of chiffon blouse. She truly meant business in the beginning, and then she sort of also went through a transformation. But in the beginning, that was the way, she was able to sort of personify who she was through her clothes. And then as the movie progresses and she is, sort of comes on the downward slope and starts getting heavier and is not as perfect looking. I mean, she broke rules. She wore a sweatsuit on an off day because it's all she could fit into, and she wore jeans to a party because she couldn't wear a skirt because her legs were too big.
What?
She wouldn't take her coat off because she felt like she was too overweight. And so she started sort of hiding in her clothes, and the things that she once had, she could no longer wear.
Gina, you're wearing sweatpants. It's Monday.
The character of Gretchen, she was sort of completely kept under the heel of Regina. She too sort of comes into her own and starts to be her own person. And you get a little inclination of that early on at the Halloween party. She does show up in, a tight leather catsuit. And then by the end of the movie, though, she's moved off into another clique completely. She's decided that she no longer needs Regina, and she'll just sort of be with whoever she wants to be. And she's pretty happy that way and still looks great.
Oh my God, it's her dream come true, diving into a big pile of girls.
Janice, again, when you start reading this, you think, oh, well, Janice will be this giant blob. But then you got these beautiful people who play these things, which makes it far more interesting. So with Janice, she essentially, she's an artist. And so she constructed her own things and her own elements, and she painted. If Janice got a t-shirt, she couldn't just wear the shirt. She had to cut it and slash it and pull it and paint on it and put it with maybe something that matched the splotch of paint on her sneaker. And so she was as much as Regina had a very pleasing way of looking, Janice's is equally as pleasing, but just more creative. And there was as much intent and direction to what Janice was doing and how she did it as there is to someone like Regina, but with someone with a mind like a girl like Janice, you're not supposed to notice. And so as far as from a costume design standpoint, working with a character like that is a lot of fun because you sort of get in the clothes with them and say, what would I do? And Lizzie would come and say, wouldn't it be great if suddenly now, this shirt, I could tie it in a sash around my waist and it's no longer a shirt. So you kind of, you help them be who their character is when you can collaborate in that way.
Please welcome to the stage Santa's Helpers doing Jingle Bell Rock.
The Jingle Bell Rock, we used plastic, and we'd thought of head-to-toe plastic, but then the fine line with that is, and with what they're wearing, is you can take it way too tartish and way too over the top. So the choice of using plastic as the fabric worked because they were, I tried to make them look as good as they could look, but using also elements of if they'd come up with them themselves, sort of thrown them together. And so I chose a basic shape of a skirt that worked on all three of the girls. And since it's plastic, I added a bow instead of a belt with a buckle to sort of soften it up and make it more girly. And their tank tops are really just tank tops that you would get at any department store, and then we just added marabou, and the same with their boots. They would have all gone to a shoe store and gone, oh wow, these would be great for our Jingle Bell Rock, boots. So making it look young and inappropriately appropriate was really sort of the desire with that. Every time you do something, you get taken to a different place. And that's what I love about it, is it does, and you always learn. I mean, continue to learn about, visually you continue to learn, and, as a person and working with different people, you continue to learn. So it always, there should never be anything, whether it works out or not, that you regret because of the process. You should enjoy the process of everything you do, and particularly in what I do, I have no control over how it will all turn out. I can only control the part that I do, and so, you have to enjoy it specifically for that.